Welcome to the CaixaImpulse Innovation Call application tutorial. Introduction. This call is for innovation projects in biomedicine and health, which must belong to one of the following 4 business areas: therapeutics, medical devices, diagnostics, or digital health. The projects must be presented by non-profit institutions based in Spain or Portugal. Eligible projects can fall into 3 stages, depending on their maturity. Stage 1 is designed to support projects generating a proof of concept. Stage 2 is for projects that have already identified and characterized the assets and require further validation and development. And Stage 3 supports projects that are on the path to regulatory filing and require an advanced characterization or refining of the exploitation model. Please follow the self-assessment test provided in the call guidelines to select the most suitable stage for your application. Let's also go over the 3 types of institutions that can participate in each proposal. First, the applicant institution. This is the institution requesting the grant, which must be a non-profit based in Spain or Portugal and must be owner or co-owner of the asset. It has an organization manager, a legal figure who represents the application institution in our platform and authorizes the submission of the project, and a project leader, the person who fills in the application. If the project has partner institutions and/or co-owners of the asset, the project leader must invite an investigator of each partner institution as well as the organization manager of each co-owner of the asset institution. Second, the partner institutions. If your project is part of consortium, you may have up to 4 partner institutions. They must also be non-profits, and to be considered a partner, they must have part of the budget allocated. All participating institutions must have a different VAT number. They can be based anywhere in the world, but no more than 30% of the budget may be allocated to institutions outside Spain and Portugal. Finally, co-owners of the asset. If the asset you are presenting in the program is co-owned by any other institution, you must declare all co-owners in the application. A co-owner of the asset may also be a partner institution in the project. Co-owners of the asset can be for-profits or non-profits based anywhere in the world. Please note that, for the application to be eligible, more than 50% of the asset must be owned by non-profit institutions, including the applicant institution. Now, let's begin with the application process as a project leader. Step 1. Accessing the platform. First, you need to access our online system via this link. If you have already registered, sign in with your email and password. In case you are new to the system, sign up by clicking on Register. Select Researcher or CSO. Read and accept the conditions, and start filling in the form. If your organization is not on the list of registered institutions, you can register it using its name and VAT number. If you are unsure about the registered name of your institution in our platform, reach out to us through the email address written on screen. State English as the preferred language for communications. Once you have provided all the information, click on Submit to finish the registration process. Before starting the application, bear in mind the following points, which are relevant to the entire application process. Please work with one application at a time. If you wish to begin from scratch, you can remove the proposal clicking on Withdraw. We recommend that every time you introduce new information, you click on the Save Draft button to avoid losing your work. Across all steps, you will find different boxes to fill in. Please be aware that the character limit includes spaces. Some of the eligibility criteria can be automatically checked by the system. We recommend that you frequently click on the Validate button to make sure you are complying with these criteria, so you have the chance to amend possible errors. Once you have submitted your proposal, you will receive a confirmation email. Please note that no amends will be admitted after submission. Step 2. Opening a new application. To open a new application, go to your profile and click on the Open Calls button. Select the CaixaImpulse Innovation Call, click on Go to Call and then Apply Now. You will access an application form with one tab called General Data and Proposal Information and another tab labelled as Call Documentation, which you can check at any time. In the first tab, General Data and Proposal Information, you are asked to answer these questions, among others. Whether the proposal is individual or part of a consortium. whether there are any co-owners of the asset, the business area, and which stage of the program you are applying for. Those fields, together with the proposal description, will be blocked once you press Continue, as they define your project. Please think thoroughly about this, as changing these sections later will clear the budget and remove all accepted invitations, if any. We will explain those sections in the next steps. Let's carry on with the application. An important part of this first tab is selecting the relevant scientific areas and sub-areas of your project. In the remote evaluation, reviewers will be assigned to your proposal considering the scientific sub-areas you check. To enable the scientific sub-areas, you must first select the scientific areas. It is compulsory to select between 2 and 4 scientific sub-areas defining your project. Once you've filled in all the information in the first tab, click on Continue. Some new tabs will now appear at the top of the screen for you to continue with the application. Bear in mind that the application form will slightly vary depending on the stage of the program you are applying for. Step 3. Invitations. For those proposals submitted by a consortium or those with any co-owners of the asset, a new menu will appear on the left of your screen for you to invite them, as they need to approve the proposal for its submission. To do this, first click on Invitations and then on the plus symbol to fill in their information and their corresponding role. Ask them in advance if they are registered in our platform. If this is the case, write the email address that they used to sign up. If they are not registered, use their preferred email address. They will receive an invitation in their inbox to join the platform. It is very important to understand the definition of each role. For the role of partner, please invite a scientist, usually a principal investigator, who will lead the tasks at the partner institution. For a co-owner of the asset, please invite a person with an administrative role who will legally represent the co-owner of the asset institution in our platform. To avoid mistakes, please reach out to us through the email address written on screen to check who holds this role in the co-owner of the asset institution, as you should only invite this person. Bear in mind that you can only invite one person per institution. Even if you have more than one investigator belonging to the same institution participating in the proposal, you should only invite one of them. It will be possible to split the budget between different labs within the same partner institution if the proposal is granted. The only exception is if your partner institution is also a co-owner of the asset institution. In this case, you must invite 2 people, one person as a partner and another person as a co-owner of the asset. Now that we have clarified the roles, how does the invitation module work? Once you've filled in all the invitations, you must click on Save to keep your progress and then on Invite to send out the invitations. Your partners and co-owners of the asset will have to accept their participation in the project in a 2-step process. First, they will receive an email inviting them to join the platform. Once they have accepted the invitation to the platform and joined, in a second step, they will be able to revise your project and confirm or reject their participation in it. This will be explained later in this video. To monitor the acceptance of your invitations, go to the Team tab and scroll down to the Project Participation Acceptance Status section. Initially, there are 4 possibilities here. If you do not see your partner, co-owner of the asset in the table, it means they have not accepted the invitation to join the platform yet, or they do not comply with the eligibility criteria for the role. For instance, in case you have invited as partner someone from your own organisation or 2 researchers from the same institution. If you see the name of the invited person with the status Pending Acceptance, they have accepted the invitation but have not confirmed their participation in the proposal yet. If the status is accepted, they have accepted the invitation email and their participation in the proposal. If the status is declined, they have accepted the invitation to the platform but refused to participate in the project. If any partner, co-owner of the asset declines their participation, or if you have invited them by mistake, you must discard them. There are 2 steps to do this. First, go to the Invitations module and click on the X to delete the invitation. Then come back to the Table of Project Participation Acceptance Status section in the Team tab. Click Open on the invitation you want to remove and then on the Discard button. Afterwards, click on the Save Draft button below the table. Please bear in mind that when discarding a partner, co-owner of the asset, the approval of all partners will be removed. As this is a relevant change in the proposal, they will automatically receive an email from the platform informing them that they must again accept their participation in the project. Note, your proposal cannot be submitted until the status of all invitations is either accepted or discarded. Step 4. Budget. To fill in the budget, navigate to this tab at the top of your screen and click on the Open button. A new pop-up window will emerge. To adapt the budget table to the number of partners you have, introduce a figure on the beneficiary column and a comment in the Details field. Then click Save. The table will reload with a column for each partner, if any. Now distribute the budget among your hosting institution and your partners if you have them. Remember to add a comment for every item to which some money is allocated to explain how it will be used. If you have partners, you must assign a part of the budget to each of them. Select which one in the drop-down. Please take into account the considerations which are now shown on screen, depending on the stage you are applying for. Once you are done filling in the budget table, click on Save and go back to the Budget tab. Click on the Save Draft button at the bottom of the screen and the system will reload to show your changes. Step 5. Gantt. This step is only required for Stage 2 and Stage 3 projects. Go to the Implementation tab and scroll down to the Work Plan, Gantt Chart section. Click on the plus sign to start. A new window will appear for you to add information about each task. First, assign the work package number to which the task belongs to. Then choose a responsible organisation from the drop-down, which lists all partners that have accepted the invitation to participate in your project. Provide the task name and the description, and select a start and end date. If you click on Save Draft, you will see that the Gantt chart diagram for your proposal is being generated. Tasks in the Gantt diagram are automatically ordered according first to the work package they belong to and second, their starting date. Submission. Once you have completed the application form and you have the approval of all your partners or co-owners of the asset, you are ready to submit your project. Don't forget to go to the Declarations tab and check all the boxes confirming the legal requirements. Save draft after checking all these boxes so that this step is recorded. Before clicking on the Submit button, make sure to validate your proposal by clicking on this button at the bottom of the page. Any possible errors will appear at the top of your screen. When your proposal is fully validated, you are welcome to press the Submit button. Thank you for applying to the CaixaImpulse Innovation Call, addressing invitations as a partner or co-owner of the asset. As partner or co-owner of the asset, you will have to make a 3-step process to participate in a project. First, accept the invitation email. Second, register in the platform. Third, log into the platform and confirm your participation in the proposal. Accepting the invitation mail. As a partner institution or as a co-owner of the asset, you will receive an email with an invitation to collaborate in the project and join the platform. To accept it, follow the link included in the email and click on the Accept button. For co-owners of the asset, please note, only the organisation manager can accept a project on behalf of the co-owners of the asset. If your institution already has an organisation manager different to you on our platform, kindly reject the invitation and notify the project leader or us at the email address written on screen. Next, you will have to register on the platform if you haven't already. Depending on your role, you will have to follow slightly different steps. Registering as investigator of a partner institution. To represent a partner institution, you must register as a researcher. To do this, follow the same instructions provided in the section Applying as a Project Leader Step 1, accessing the platform. Registering as organisation manager of the application institution or of the co-owner of the asset. First, access grants.lacaixafoundation.org. If you have already registered, sign in with your email and password. If you are not registered, please sign up by clicking on Register. Select the Organisation Manager option. Be aware there is only one Organisation Manager per institution. As for the scope of the projects that your organisation is going to submit, select Research and Innovation Projects in Life Sciences or Social Sciences. Then, read and accept the privacy policy and fill in the form. If your organisation is not on the list, you can register it using its name and VAT number. But please, ask us first by sending an email to the address written on screen so we can check that it isn't already registered under a different name. To avoid errors in the platform, please state English as the preferred language for communications. Once you have provided all the information, click on Submit. To finish the process, complete your personal profile and add all documentation to certify that you can represent the institution. The accreditation document, which must include the signature of the legal representative and your ID and the ID of the legal representative. Click on Request Accreditation to validate this step. Finally, complete your organization's information in the organization profile. Accepting a proposal. You will find the proposal in the Action section of your home screen and then in Project Acceptance. To confirm your participation, open the project from the list and revise the proposal by clicking on Actions, View Applications. You can navigate through the tabs in the split screen. Finally, you can approve it by checking the boxes in the Project Acceptance section and clicking on Accept at the bottom of the screen. Click on Yes to finalize the process. Please bear in mind that if the project leader makes significant changes to the proposal, you will receive an automatic email from the platform and you will have to repeat this last step of the acceptance process. Addressing invitations as Organisation Manager of the applicant institution. To accept the project, please follow these steps. Register if your organisation has no Organisation Manager designated yet. Go to the section addressing invitations, registering as Organisation Manager of the applicant institution or of the co-owner of the asset. Accept the proposal as indicated previously in addressing invitations, accepting a proposal. Thank you for applying to the CaixaImpulse Innovation Call.